Hey, how's it going YouTube? This is your boy Chosen and welcome to today's discussion video. And for today's topic, I wanted to discuss if whether Kishimoto possibly giving the Byakugan to Boruto in the time skip is a good idea or not. I was originally inspired to make this video by a comment I saw a while ago where someone suggested the idea of Boruto awakening the Byakugan in the time skip. So I just thought today we'd explore this idea and see if it makes any sense. So I guess the best place to start off is to address why Boruto in the first place was given the jougon, which actually relates to why he doesn't have the Byakugan to begin with. That reason surprisingly is being because Kishimoto initially forgot to give Boruto and Himawari the Byakugan when drawing the final manga chapter for Naruto. This was fixed with the one-shot special The Day Naruto Became Hokage, where Himawari unlocked hers, but I like to believe they held back on Boruto's due to the change in him unlocking the jougon we see later in episode 1. So initially his new eye was the replacement for the Byakugan, and honestly, I'm all for it. As cool as it is to see these younger generation characters reuse some of the former's techniques, I feel like it'd be more interesting to see them train and perform their own unique movesets. A prime example is Team 15. In some way, they all have a unique ability to them we've probably never seen before, and say what you want about the characters themselves, but in terms of abilities, that is kind of what I'm really looking forward to with Kishimoto now taking over and them growing up and all having new skills and whatnot. I mean, of course, this doesn't mean Kishimoto should just completely neglect the fact that these kids are the children of the former OG characters. For example, like imagine if Sarada didn't unlock the Sharingan or couldn't perform fire style techniques. She's an Uchiha, she can stand out, but regardless she should have some Uchiha feats to her. There is nothing wrong with her using fire and lightning style, it's just that it'd be nice if she wasn't an exact copy and paste of Sasuke and brought more unique abilities to the table. Lightning style lightning ball is a great example. It's a lightning style technique that she can use as a long range attack, and on top of that she also possesses Chidori, meaning she now has a close and long range lightning style of attack with this nature. One of them being something she, well, didn't exactly learn on her own, but nonetheless is not a technique we've seen before, but at the same time, she is also her father's daughter, so it isn't at all a pushover for her to possess the Chidori. The balance with her is honestly great in my opinion. She has a new technique of her own while also possessing her father's signature move. Her character herself in general is kind of slightly different from him at his age. Yes, they both are lightning and fire style users, but Sarada, unlike Sasuke at that age, can use lightning at a distance. She doesn't have to be up close to strike with the Chidori, but at the same time, Sarada isn't a full Uchiha, meaning she can't last as long as him with the Sharingan. They both got their similarities and differences. Now let's finally get back to the star of today's video, Boruto, and I'm gonna say it now, but I'm honestly kind of happy they didn't give him a Byakugan because it makes him all that more unique of a character. One cool similarity with Naruto and Boruto is that they both were able to apply their own natures to their Rasengans, which gave them a powerful attack. The thing with Boruto that makes him a bit different is that he knows 3 different kinds of natures: wind, lightning, and water, and with these 2, he was able to merge them with a basic Rasengan, creating 2 never before seen attacks at like the age of what? 12? Just like with Sarada and Sasuke, to his core, he is similar to Naruto, but also has his differences as well. Boruto is more versatile, while Naruto has better chakra reserves, allowing him to create more shadow clones and perform things like the giant Rasengan at Boruto's age, something we know Boruto was confirmed to not be able to do in the anime. And the one thing I can give the anime praise for is balancing these characters out by having them possess some similar feat to their parents, whether that's the same chakra nature you get with Shikadai and his mom, or Sarada and Sasuke with the Sharingan, but exploiting different ways of using them, that also at the same time makes them different. Whether it's a weaker or stronger ability isn't the point. In the manga, Sarada is literally Kid Sasuke. Fireball Jutsu, Phoenix Flower, and Chidori. Yeah, sure, you have a little bit of feats from Sakura, but for the most part, she literally is Sasuke. And with Boruto, his only jutsus that deprives from Naruto, besides the Karma and Momoshiki, is a single water style and lightning style jutsu and the vanishing Rasengan. Even his personality for the most part is fairly similar to Naruto's. But with the anime and all these extra arcs and episodes we've gotten, we've seen so many times how Boruto can be his own unique person, which has been pretty cool to see. With Kishimoto giving Boruto the Byakugan instead of the jougon, especially with how he's portrayed to be in the manga, he'd kind of look like a Shippuden character. And not that there's anything wrong with Shippuden, it's just that since this is a story that isn't primarily focused on the old gen, it'd be nice to see some new things added in that don't at all tie into the story before. Karma is a perfect example of that. No hints or nothing in Shippuden or Part 1 Naruto, so adding in this fresh new plot device makes it interesting and unpredictable. When Boruto was out there fighting Urashiki, imagine if he had a Byakugan instead. You kinda know what Boruto was going to do and what his weaknesses and strengths are with that eye. Whereas with this new one, there was an exciting element to that fight because we saw Boruto do something we've never seen him do before. And on top of that, just based off of Urashiki's reaction to seeing the eye, it made that fight so much more meaningful and rememberable. A lot of people probably don't see the point of Boruto gaining a Byakugan, but personally, I'm just glad they didn't put it in for the extra unique points towards his character. On top of this, we also can't forget the other child, Himawari, meaning it's not like the eye has just been completely forgotten. It's still passed down to one of the next generation kids, just not with an important character in the story as of right now. With Himawari, I feel like the writers don't exactly know what to do with her character. She doesn't really even have an influence on anyone to that degree. Boruto does care for her, but nothing really comes out of it. And if someone wants to mention how Delta used her in order to bait Naruto, which also resulted in Kwaki losing the arm, and you know the rest, I mean, let's be honest, if any of Boruto's friends were put into that position instead of Himawari, Naruto would have done that regardless. That's just his character. Like, we know how he stands by his new dream, which he mentioned in the anime is to protect the entire village, as that is his family now along with his real one. They did have that episode where she went out on that one-day academy training part, but in the end, I believe she never even made a real decision, but decided that whatever she wanted to do, it was going to be her decision alone. Something along those lines. They clearly don't know what to do with her, but with Himawari being a bit more grown in the time skip, I don't think it's out of the question to say that she might play a more relevant role moving forward. Especially with the stakes at an all-time high, she might be more encouraged to become a ninja, since she knows her dad isn't as strong as he used to be, which makes everything harder on him, and to make him worry less, she could become a ninja to protect herself and help him out. If this does become the case, within her we could see more of the Byakugan. So there isn't a real reason for Boruto to really unlock it if Himawari already has it herself, most likely also depending on it heavily in battle. And just like I said in my Naruto Sage Mode video, Naruto using Sage Mode more often now gives the writers a chance to reintroduce the mode to a newer audience, because there are people out there who have never watched a day of Naruto and started off with Boruto. I personally know of someone like that. So with Himawari, they could also be doing that with her and maybe keep her unique to the series as the only Byakugan user we consistently see in action. If Boruto unlocks the Byakugan as a main character, who's gonna care to see Himawari fight when we basically see all that with him? Seeing Himawari unlock the Byakugan in the anime has been a treat because we almost never see anyone use that eye in the series, which used to be so big back in part 1 with Uncle Neji. So yeah, in conclusion, for those who want Boruto to have a Byakugan moving forward, I can understand where you're coming from because it would be pretty cool, but personally I think the decision to not give him the eye, but something else instead, was a smarter move. And hopefully any new abilities he learns in the future will be more unique to him only. That and the other characters of course, not just Boruto. And that is going to be all for today's discussion video. Let me know down below if you guys like the decision of the team not giving Boruto the Byakugan, or if you thought it was a bad move. Thank you guys for watching all the way until the end, and I'll catch you on the next one.